Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Rhode Island, like many coastal states, faces compound risks from storm surge, sea level rise, coastal flooding, and the like. Improving our ability to predict these events requires way more integrated environmental data, including soil permeability, coastal topography, and regional sea level rise. And we need this data to fully understand and prepare for how extreme weather will affect coastal communities and infrastructure across the country. And so, as we alluded to earlier, and I've heard in some of your remarks, President Trump's FY26 budget proposes eliminating NOAA's Office of Oceanic and Atmospheric Research, along with its climate, weather, and ocean laboratories, and 16 cooperative institutions that provide much of the data and analysis needed for this kind of integrated risk assessment. And fortunately, as I referenced, the initial signs are that congressional appropriators are going to move more in the direction that is necessary to address the real urgent public safety needs here. Dr. Abdulati, I want you to elaborate on some of your comments earlier about the consequences of the elimination of NOAA's research capabilities, and how would losing observational data and scientific expertise affect our ability to anticipate and respond to extreme weather events? Because it is complex, but I think for those who may be tuning into this topic for the first time because of recent events, I'd really like to hear what the research component means to our capacities.
Sure. The research component turns those observations into information, and those observations are the product of exceptional technical development and capability, but at the end of the day, data is not information until it's been examined, interpreted, understood. The research also enables stuff we take for granted now, the kinds of predictions we take for granted now as being routine, to develop. They are a product of past investments in research. So when we talk about looking to the future, and the forecasting capabilities and the capabilities to ensure resilience, we are talking about the outcomes of research, the work of the people. So the data are critical. We're talking about observations here. The capacity to analyze them through artificial intelligence techniques certainly enhance our ability to interpret that information, but at the end of the day, the fundamental physics and the understanding of the physics, the chemistry, and the implications requires research.
Mm-hmm. And what you say there illuminates a point that I think you'll hear from many of us, that there is an essential federal role, an essential role that is played by the research that takes place, that's funded by this Congress, and that needs to be supported in a robust way moving forward.
Absolutely, and I do take to heart the comments of the other witnesses about new and innovative ways of looking at and doing things. That's absolutely a critical part of a broad portfolio, but foundational to it is the development of knowledge, is the interpretation of what we see that can be augmented by better observations, by new analytical techniques. But at the end of the day, it takes basic physics, an understanding of the physics. It takes people trained in those capabilities to turn that information into meaningful outcomes.
Thank you. As we've previously discussed, President Trump and Commerce Secretary Lutnick have paused or canceled NOAA contracts for a range of critical products and services, some with little or no explanation. At the same time, the ongoing staffing shortages caused by hiring freezes and mass terminations have hollowed out NOAA's operational capacity. Dr. Nielsen-Gammon, how are funding delays or staffing reductions at NOAA affecting the work of the cooperative institutes or regional climate centers, including your ability to deliver climate data, forecasting tools, and public services?
Yeah, our tools get used quite widely by the public, by various private sectors, by broadcast meteorologists, and so forth. We had a 4-day pause in our contract at the end of April because of waiting for approval all the way through the Department of Commerce and renewal of that. We're up for supplemental funding that has been authorized in previous budgets by Congress, but we don't know whether that's going to be approved. And the whole program is up for recompete this year. And basically, we're waiting to see whether Congress and the administration are going to support the services we provide to the country going forward.
Well, thank you for that. And, you know, when we talk about the impact of minutes mattering, a 4-day pause seems pretty problematic. With that, I yield back. Thank you.